Okay. Yeah, you're good.
That we'd be exempt.
I'm just gonna do this so I can see if Jean joins us.
I can keep.
Oh,
Our things.
Yeah. Wait, spring, summer.
Hi, Brian.
We're close.
Bold.
Yeah.
Good today. We turn a little
Yeah.
more.
Going.
I'm hoping.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Breaking up.
Oh, that's fine.
You sure? Because I can turn.
I'm lurking in the background.
Okay, it is 10:03.
Okay, let's get the meeting started.
Okay. Okay, the first item on our agenda is, this is the Southold Local Development Corporation regular meeting, March 28, 2025. We have a quorum in person. The first item on our agenda is our 2024 audit, and we have a representative from our audit team. Do you want to just introduce yourself and go ahead and go over the audit a little bit?
Yes. Quick. Are you able to give me permission to share my screen?
I don't know. Yes, I think I can, because it just prompted me.
Awesome.
Did that work? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. It's a little bit small, maybe just, yeah, you got it. Perfect.
So hello everyone. My name is Brian Sama. I'm a director with EFPR Group, or EFPR Group CPAs, or EFPR Advisory. It's all one brand, essentially. And I'm here today to present the audit of your financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2024. So a couple of things that I want to go over today are going to be our engagement team, the timing of the procedures, some high-level audit and financial results, and then I'll open it up for questions if you have any. All right, so this is our engagement team. I've already introduced myself, but there were a couple other individuals that were on the engagement team. Douglas Zimmerman is the partner on the engagement. He is responsible for the overall relationship with Southold Local Development Corporation, as well as taking a final review of the file and the financial statements. And then there was a secondary partner, Rob Williams. He is what is known as the quality control partner. He, after both Doug and I have been through the file and the financial statements, from an independent standpoint, somebody external of the engagement team ultimately takes a review of both the file and the financial statements and makes sure that those two items adhere to not only our firm standards, but the standards that are set by our industry, the AICPA or the Financial Accounting Standards Board or the Governmental Accounting Standards Board. So in terms of the timing of procedures, we began our field work around the last week of January, January 27th. We were able to get through all the information that was provided, and ultimately issue a draft of your financial statements on February 10th, 2025. In the ensuing weeks afterwards, we went back and forth with a couple questions that Lisa had. I believe we were able to answer those in their entirety. And then now we're here today to go over the results of the audit. And upon your approval today, get you a final financial statement, hopefully either by the end of today or sometime Monday at the latest. In terms of the audit results, there's three items on this slide. The first one is probably the most important item. We are proposing or are expected to issue an unmodified opinion on your basic financial statements. An unmodified opinion is a clean audit opinion. It is the highest rated opinion that you can get, and ultimately it means that there are no material misstatements embodied in your financial statements, and that everything is presented in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. We like to touch on the second bullet. All records and information that we requested were freely available for our inspection. Ultimately, that means that Lisa responded to every request that we made in a very timely fashion. That's why we had such a quick turnaround, especially for a first-year client. About a 2-week turnaround is usually unheard of. So everything that we requested was sent to us almost immediately. We had absolutely no difficulties in dealing with.
Fairness, we don't have a lot to share. I don't mean applause.
But we do appreciate positive feedback.
Yes, thank you, Brian. You were a pleasure to work with.
Yeah.
Problem, like, it's a few direction.
All right, so yes, I mean, working with Lisa was fun. We actually, the one night had a conversation about some items in the financial statements or items that we were requesting for the audit. And really just got to know each other a little bit more personally too. So she was a pleasure to deal with throughout the audit. And then the last item on this slide, your audit was also conducted in accordance with government auditing standards or government accounting standards. Ultimately, this means that there is a level of internal control and compliance that is tested as part of your audit. We're pleased to report that there were no instances of non-compliance or findings of any nature that we found during our audit procedures. The high-level financial results. As I'm sure you guys are aware, there's not a lot that's really going on at the LDC, but just a quick summary of some of the items. So your total assets did decrease a little under $5,000 to $156,486. That's mainly cash in your investments or your certificates of deposit. Your net position increased by a similar amount, not quite exactly the same, by 3,146 to the same balance. Your operating revenue consisted of 2 annual administration fees and was fairly consistent with the prior year. I think there's about a 3% hike on that from last year. And then your operating expenses were fairly consistent as well, with the largest being your consulting fees to Lisa. So the last item is your non-operating revenue. It's primarily interest income. That increased a little over $1,700 to just over $5,000 this year. And that's just mainly from the interest that's earned on your investments, your certificates of deposits, and your savings account. So this last slide is just my contact information in case any of you need to get a hold of me at any point in time throughout the year. We are your auditors year round. We're not your auditors just during this couple month time frame. So if you do have any questions during the year, please feel free to reach out.
And I have all of Brian's contact information if anybody needs it and doesn't have access.
Thank you, Brian, for making this process so easy. We do appreciate it. And I think we're ready to review and approve the audit, right, everybody?
I realized that we probably should have started the audit committee meeting and then we review and approve the audit and recommend its approval to the full board. So I'll move the opening of the committee.
Yeah, 10:03. I said regular, I meant audit.
So amended.
Yeah. So did you guys have any questions on the audit for Brian?
No, I think the questions that we had, we addressed along the way.
Jean, did you, I know you just,
Yeah, I'm good.
okay. Do we have a motion to?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that's to recommend that the full board accept.
Right.
Okay. It is 10:11. Can we have a motion to end the audit committee meeting?
Second.
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and have a motion to start the regular meeting at 10:12.
So moved.
Francis? Give me a second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, so the first item on the agenda is to consider the audit, which is being recommended by our audit committee. Does anyone have any questions on the audit?
No.
Okay.
No additional
No.
questions.
Question?
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
You? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Brian, thank you so much. You're certainly welcome to stay, but you don't need to if you don't want to.
Probably hop off. I've got a lot of stuff to do. Got a lot of these
Yeah.
meetings going on this week.
Hey, Brian, would you say hello to Ed Zimmerman for me? I used to work with him at a different firm when I was at Empire State Development.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
so you know us back from the Toski days, I assume.
Yeah,
Okay. That's cool. I worked on that engagement for a couple years early on in my career, but not when it was Toski. I think we shifted DFPR group at that point, so. Lisa, one last thing that we'll need from you, the rep letters, we'll need those
Yep.
signed before we
I
can.
just- I got the DocuSign this morning.
Okay, perfect. So whenever you have a chance, just go through the process for signing those. They'll get sent directly back to me. And we should get everything processed on our end. You should be able to receive a final, like I said, by the end of today or Monday at the very latest.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, take
Thank you,
care.
Brian.
take care,
Thanks a lot.
thanks.
Bye.
Worry about it a little bit if you want.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is our 2024 PARS. The annual report, the certified financial audit, the investment report, and the procurement report were sent in advance. Does anyone have any questions or concerns or things that like over or changed?
No, I wanted to note for the record, as we were discussing before, Paris is a bit clunky and flawed in its format as well as content. And so we're forced to answer questions in a way that don't actually make sense for the organization that we are. So I just put that on the record.
And to continue with that, the ABO now has a dashboard of this information on their website, so you can see our awkward information in colorful graphs. So, did anyone have any other comments, questions?
No.
Do we have a motion?
I'll move it.
Yes, thank you. Assuming that I get, all in favor?
Aye.
Assuming that I get everything from the auditors by Monday, it's due on Monday, it's just a couple, I just have to attach the final draft, the final version of the audit and click a couple of buttons, so unless there's an issue with getting me the final audit, it'll be in by Monday when it's due.
Right.
The next item on the agenda is an accounting procedures. It probably shouldn't be a policy, it's just accounting procedures, and this was one of the things that came out of our audit that they suggested we should put together, so I took a stab at it, I included it. Does anyone have any questions, comments, edits? Jean, I thought you might.
This is what we do. So, I mean, it may not be, in terms of it being a procedure, it is truly a procedure, and I have gone through it, and this is what we do. So it is a good representation.
It's not a lot.
Right.
So,
Chelsea, procurement that we do?
Yeah.
We covered it all.
At some point, we have a project and it turns out there's more, we can always.
yeah, but this, I tried to think through each step, and I think the only thing I changed Jean, after I sent you the first version, is that I just moved the note that, while each of us can provide a second signature on a check, we're prohibited from providing a second signature on a check to us,
Correct.
to ourselves, so
Correct.
that was the only thing. I moved that from payroll procedure up into payables
Payables,
procedure, because I
yep.
thought it applied to more than just payable, so. Do we have a motion to accept this procedure? I don't even know. if we need to, but we as well.
I'll make a motion.
So,
All in favor? Next item on the agenda is approval of the payment for our auditors. So in addition to doing our audit, they also did 1099s for us. We haven't received an invoice for the 1099s, and they were kind of on the fence whether it would be part of our audit or if they would charge us separately. So what I'm suggesting is the audit is $5,000. He told me maximum for 1099s would be 300, so maybe we can do up to that and just see what they decide to do. Do we have a motion? Here? Second?
Second.
Wait, all in favor?
Aye.
That, the invoice that they sent us,
That was like a in process. It actually, oddly enough, got sent to the town, but they didn't have the town's PO box on it and it got bounced back to them. And then he emailed it to me. Somehow it ended up in my junk, even though I've gotten so many emails from him. So I said to him, he said, we can either just pay from the engagement letter. He told me they would send a follow-up, but I wanted to see how you wanted to handle it. Because that was,
I want to be invoiced for it.
okay,
Yeah, I don't want to do it right from the engagement, but because I said that one was for 4,000.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was like a part way through.
Okay. I just feel like we should have
Yeah,
the invoice for
Okay.
it.
I asked him to send it, but I haven't received it yet. I don't think Brian actually sends it. I think he goes to his, there's another department
Right.
that handles that,
Okay.
so I think they just haven't done it. But I'll follow.
Probably busy time for them.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the next item on the agenda is our January 17th meeting minutes. Does anyone have any edits or changes or questions? Do we have a motion to accept those? Moved. You, second? You? Favor? Aye.
And I abstained. I wasn't here.
Jean, do you want to go over your report? I printed everything and provided it to everybody.
So there's two separate reports. One's really long, and that's the last time you'll see that report. A lot of that captured from the end of 22 straight through 24. Let us look at some trends. We were doing some CDs at that time, and it let us watch through the rollovers. So this is the actual closeout. There have been some information, that I was missing on some of the CDs. We've got everything in there. Everything is in proof, closed out. So this is just the final copy of the 12/31 financials. The new financials are one page. And it picks up from the closeout figures. And that just demonstrates what's happened since the beginning of this year. Some of it we brought right through current, our checking account balance. Lisa actually was good enough to give me where we were, just a screenshot of where we were right now. So these are all right up to the minute balances that we have either from interest postings on the CDs or our closing balance on our checking account. The only outstanding item is a check for our executive director, which will be signed off on today. That's been written, and that's the only outstanding item right now. We'll have the other outstanding item that will come off of this balance will be the payment of the invoice for the accountants. One thing that did change is that our interest rate in the last quarter of 2024, our interest rate on the savings account went down. So that's paying 0.6 now. We had been at 1%, and then it seemed like it was moving around a little bit, but we're down at 0.6 now. So that was a small change that took place. And it's reflected now on the statements. But for the most part, checking account, our savings account, and the 2 certificates of deposit, our total cash position right now is 164,773.06.
And you guys will see that we received both
Yes.
projects and fees.
They've been recorded and accounted for.
What's the cybernet?
The CyberNet is our web developer, our website.
Okay.
So I think we pay that twice a year,
Yeah.
as I recall. We pay that twice a year and they keep that in check for us.
Some cybersecurity.
Now, wouldn't be that cheap.
Just.
Wouldn't be that inexpensive.
It's big number. It's private, yeah.
Yeah, it's all subscription based now.
Questions?
Should we accept James' report?
Dean, thank you, as always.
The thanks really goes to Lisa, because if you knew what it took to get these printed today, between my printer dying and then my email not cooperating and not letting me send, and at 11 o'clock last night when I got home from Up Island, and I just said, this week needs to end.
I'm so glad you emailed me, because it went into my junk folder. I never seen it for today.
And the only reason why I have that email is it was to facilitate something that I needed to communicate between my daughter and I, and use Excel spreadsheets like on the iPad,
Yeah.
shared sheets. And that's the only reason why I had that email.
Well. now
Thank
it's-
goodness.
It's worked twice, so. I don't think we have anything else. We have a finance committee and budget meeting that we need to schedule for October, September. I don't know if you guys want to do that now or if you wait. Seems like it's a weeks off, stuff can change, but.
We could put something tentatively on the calendar and
If it's September, it's okay.
Should be.
Let's see. Fridays and
the 5th, the 12th. The 12th is gonna be. I think we have the Maritime Festival Gala that night, so that's gonna be a busy day. 19th, 5th or the 19th.
And that's September. It's not due until I think November 1st, so we could go into October. October, well, that's a Sunday. We could do October
No.
3rd,
Let's do the 3rd.
October 3rd. My wedding.
Oh, sorry.
No. There's a good chance that my is working for nights. No. Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Unless, just before we do that,
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure you would have volunteered it, but anything new from the Peconic Bay, nothing?
No.
Okay.
I reach out well, I haven't reached out in a little while, but I can send an email. Have you heard anything from you?
I was texting back and forth with her yesterday about zoning, but I can reach out. Yeah. Do we want to see Tom is on the board at Peconic Land there? I don't know if he has anything to say or if he's just
Do you want me to-
observing. Yeah, he left the meeting, we'll see if he has anything.
No, mine your way?
Nope, I just.
Yeah.
No, he's-
Scintillating.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good
Hey,
morning.
how are you?
Good morning. Good, thanks. I'm just logging in and just see how you folks operate and see if there was anything interesting or new. So I'm just in the stands, so to speak.
Not to put you on the spot, but we were hoping that you might be able to, well, either shed some light or maybe, bring a message back. We received an application, it's been a while now, from the Peconic School.
This is not Peconic School.
Oh, this is Peconic
Peconic
Landing.
Landing. You're on the board at Peconic Landing, right, Tom?
Oh.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Let me just put a name and a face together. So,
Hi,
Hi,
Tom.
hi.
nice to meet you.
Is that a real palm tree behind you?
Yes, that's on the south side of Route 48 in Southold right now. Yeah, so I'm in my office in Southold, and yeah, it's a fake background anyhow, but yeah, just kind of wanted to chime in and see how you guys are doing.
Okay, how's your project? Are you guys doing well? Do you need anything from us?
I think we're good. I would send that back up through you know, our CEO Bob Siren. So, you know, I've been on the board there for about 15 years and head up the building committee and sit on the strategic planning committee and what have you. So we're just looking to see what's happening here, and also we're keeping a keen eye onto what's happening with the zoning changes in town and how that may affect any of our local businesses. And I say that as a owner practitioner, not as a Peconic Landing board member, just as an individual within the community.
Friend of mine is moving in next month. And so I'll be over there visiting him.
Wonderful. There's,
He's excited.
you know, Peconic Landing is a amazing community, amazing group of people, amazing group of residents, and it's something where we just got a Pinnacle Award for #1 CCRC in North America. So something that I think the entire community should be proud of having Peconic Landing within the town of Southold.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I'm gonna jump back in the stands with you know, some popcorn and my ball hat on, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Ever refund that? Possible this next year. Should be back. You see this year, that.
It's 26.
Yes. We should keep our eye on it, just in case they might be interested. Because they can add in whatever other capital X. There you go.
I'll check. Okay, do we have a motion to?
Move it.
Yeah. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you so
Thank you.
much. Everybody have great day, great evening. I think your auditor.
I'm so excited.
Person.
Good to see
Take
you.
care, nice to see you.
It just.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was so easy.
Yeah. Well, I turn you around as soon as I get it. It always feels like